Guys, in this video I'll share with you how these guys have grew the company and sold it for $950 million. So the company name is Freshly. So the Freshly is basically the meal. They make meals, right, and they deliver them to you. They have pretty competitive pricing. But the interesting thing about these guys is that they grew this as an e-commerce business, right? Whereas other people, we have quite a few people who have the e-commerce skills, right? Who know how to generate sales, who know how to advertise, right? But the scaling to the business to that level of 8, 9 figures is what makes a business very valuable. And not a lot of people know how to do that. So for example, here with this business, you can see they project the sales of $430 million, and they grew to that level. This business, obviously, it wasn't self-funded. It was started probably self-funded, but then they have raised, you can see here, so they raised the first Series A financing for $7 million. Then in 2016, they 4 years after starting the company, they raised another 21 million, and then Nestle funded another 77 million. So the total funding would be about $100 million, right? And while they did that, so they got $100 million with funding, but then they grew the company at 430, right? So the skill set that you have as an entrepreneur to advertise, to get customers, right? It can be leveraged on this scale, right? Scaling dropshipping products. It can be utilized on this scale. For example, growing the brand, growing something more sustainable, evolving from dropshipping to something that can be sold. Or it's the next level is basically to leverage it for something even more scalable, right? So in this case where you would get insiders, not insiders, but outside capital, you would get some people, the benefit of getting, for example, funding from companies like Nestle or some other big companies or private equity companies is because if they invest into your company, their goal is to make your company more valuable, right? Because then they make more money. And so, for example, once they have made that investment, so they have made this investment here, you can see in 2017. So once they have made that investment, they have, they had the interest to, you can see, add it to Freshly board. So they added CSF food division to Freshly's board and add East Coast Kitchen Distribution Center. So the benefit of getting, for example, big investors like this that, they bring the expertise of building the infrastructure. They're building, they're bringing the expertise of, how to leverage, how to scale that brand more effectively. And so you can see they joined in 2017. In 3 years, literally they scaled that company to 400 million sales, and now they have acquired it, right? So obviously these guys, the founders, probably their stage at the stake at the company right now is, they're not full owners, right? They don't fully own the company. However, even let's say 10% of that company, they own 10-20% each. That company would be worse if you calculate it. That's at least $100 million, right? That's at least $100 million. Here it says it was acquired for 1.5 billion. So I don't know which information is relevant, but it seems like this one is more relevant because it comes directly from the Nestle. Oh, the potential earnouts, right? So they've closed the deal just a few days ago. It says that the company was founded in 2015. If you think about it, what is the return on effort of someone, let's say, growing e-commerce business and scaling it to, let's say, very small numbers, 500, 1 million per month, versus someone who's growing the business, but in 5 years, I know some people who've been in e-commerce space for 5 years, and they have 6-7 figure businesses, and some have 8-figure businesses, but even that is not a lot, because if you think about it, the leverage that you would have here in this situation, growing the company in 5 years from zero to the exit of $950 million, right? That's a real scale. That's where the value is. That's how you can basically be set for life without, you don't have to work anymore in your life. But here, it's totally different mindset, right? If you think about growing the business, if you think about growing how you grew your business, these guys, obviously they have, advertised on different channels. I mean, their marketing strategy was like different channels, but also it was that understanding of their customer, understanding of their numbers, obviously, because probably the customers that these companies, if they acquire a customer, they would acquire a customer not at a profit, to probably acquire a customer at a loss, or because they know the lifetime value of the customer. If someone is getting the meal, like let's say today, they like it, they'll keep reordering like every single week, every single month, right? So the lifetime value of that customer could be thousands or tens of thousands of dollars in some cases, because the customers get these products again and again. But you can see kind of like how this whole mindset of growing the business could be totally different if you think about what is actually possible, right? And if you think what is possible, then you understand that you have to evolve with your business. So first of all, even let's say evolving from the dropshipping stage to the business where you actually build something that is more sustainable, right? Where you find the competitive edge, right, in your market. I mean, this company is not the only company that provides these meals, right? Everyone has meals, but they have streamlined their production, they have streamlined their infrastructure. So obviously a lot of it would come down to the cost cutting, right? So for example, if it costs, some other company to produce, let's say this meal for like $5 and it costs them to produce it for $3, then they have the competitive advantage, right? And if you multiply it by thousands and thousands and thousands and millions of meals every single month, then that competitive advantage just kind of builds on itself. And I think based on what the information that you can find, the investment that they got in from the Nestle, where the guys they built the biggest, largest food and beverage company in the world, right? That's they have so many brands, right? That's you can see, view all brands, see how many brands they have. So they have over 2,000 brands. And if a company like this acquires your company, they have the distribution networks, right? They have the connection, they have the know-how, they have the knowledge, they know how to build the infrastructure, they know how to advertise, they know how to leverage the numbers they have, they know how to leverage the customer list. So these companies have this whole ecosystem. So if they invest in your company, that brings a lot of value, not just in terms of the financing, not just in terms of value, but how you learn from a company like this on how to operate like a business of tremendous scale. So I just checked it out, guys, and just realized that even though we are doing $20-30 million in a year with our stores, but it's still very low volume, right? And there's a lot of room to grow. And guys, if you want to grow, if you at least want to get to those level, to 7-8 figures, then you should apply for a program. It's called Commerce Scaling Secret. There should be a link somewhere below, so you can get some benefits of that. You should get some benefits as well and just grow your business to the stage where potentially you could get some investment, right? Potentially you could partner up with some private equity companies, and you could just grow that to the next level, right? Because that is the next level, right? So everyone's talked about the next level, but this is the next level where you partnering up with people who know what they're doing, who have all of the resources to just scale your company, right? This is where the scaling comes from. Scaling is not like scaling Facebook ads. Scaling is where you grow the business, where you grow the product, you have some competitive advantage. Sometimes, again, sometimes the competitive advantage would come down to the cost cut. So even right now, let's say if you think about the dropshipping space, let's say a lot of dropshippers, they do well, but the threat that's coming to the space is that a lot of Chinese sellers and manufacturers and factories, they've now figured out how to run Facebook advertising. So they might not need you to sell their products. They might sell the products by themselves. And so that makes the business very vulnerable, because if they can sell the product for cheaper, again, if they can sell, you sell this product for $20 just to make some profit, and they can sell it for $10 or $15 and just break even or make very small margin, but it's still okay for them because they're moving their products, then they'll win. Long term, they'll win. They'll just cut costs and just will get more sales, will get more customers to buy, and just will advertise aggressively. But guys, this is something that you should check out, basically how you can evolve in that direction, how you can build something that is sustainable. And you can see one of the things here, and also that's one of the things that we're working right now in our business, is implementing the subscription and integrating subscription into our business, because that is something that makes companies far more valuable to the potential investors. If they buy the company, if they know that they can get like by default, some percentage of monthly recurring revenue, if they know that they can get some percentage of, people to buy, just because they're subscribers. So there's some predictability to the revenue that makes the company very valuable. And also they can also integrate, let's say you have 10,000 customers or 100,000 customers. Those customers can be upsold other items, right? It could be integrated with other businesses and merged with other businesses. And that makes the business as well more valuable. So you can see there are like several moving parts here. But again, guys, if you wanted to evolve to this stage, to building something sustainable, building something scalable, it's very painful to see entrepreneurs, like let's say operating dropshipping stores for like 1 year, 2 years, or like few months, and then having to recreate their business from scratch because their business doesn't have a unique product. It can be easily like copied. It can be easily taken out of business. So you don't want to be building this type of business. You want to build something that is sustainable. You want to have always at any given point some competitive advantage. Either it is marketing, product, the customer experience, branding, positioning. So there should be something that differentiates you from all other people and also makes it more difficult. Trademark as well, that makes it more difficult for people to just come and copy your business and just get you out of business, right? Because that's what happens. If you don't differentiate, if you don't change, if you don't evolve with your business, then there will be no business. So this is, I've learned this in a very like painful way. We've lost several stores this way because we've been like just all our costs have been cut. Other people have been like scaling some products very aggressively. So we've learned that lesson. Right now our business is very sustainable, but it could be even more. And I see there are a lot of room, but I see a lot of people that would want to get even to the level that we are now. And that's basically what we're helping our students in the eCommerce Scaling Secrets program, guys. This is only for advanced entrepreneurs like who already been in business, who want to scale their business. So there should be a link somewhere below if you're looking for help with that. Other than that, guys, just evolve. There is a lot of room to grow. Like a lot of people like would post, it's so funny because a lot of people would post these like screenshots like $10,000 a day, $20,000 a day, and $50,000 a day, $100,000 a day. These are so small numbers if you think about it, and that's why I don't post them, because these are small numbers, right? And if you think about like the real companies, big numbers, they don't have to post that stuff, right? They don't have to post. And if that's something you want to do, you want to build a company that has the value, then I would recommend you guys to check these resources and check all of the major like acquisitions that are happening in space, what companies are there, why they're valued at that level, whether they had the funding. Sometimes, these fund companies sell for like 100, 200, 500 million, and oftentimes they didn't even have the funding, right? They didn't have even the venture capital. So this, in particular, this one had, so they had several like rounds of investment. So the first one here, Insights Venture Partners, which is also like interesting. You can see that's, for example, the company that has invested in more than 400 companies. And that's even farther like stage, right? Where you invest in these companies, right? And that's also eventually not even like in a very long time frame. For now, that's where we want to be with our business. We want to be investing in this company because, for example, here, let's say they have raised, let's say 21. Okay, so they raised like 21 million from this company, right? I don't know what was the valuation company at that stage. Let's say the valuation was like $200 million. So in that case, they acquired 10% of the company. And that 10% of the company right now, with the current acquisition that they have achieved, right? So they've achieved 950. Now they just quadrupled that money, because that like 10% of the company would worth like $95 million, right? Plus the potential earnout of like 550 if this 5-year-old company. This is just incredible. 5 years only, guys, if this company continues to grow, right? So you can see they purchased a 16% stake, right? So they purchased 16% stake here for $77 million, right? So let's do the calculation how much that company was valued in 2017. Right, so let's do the calculation. So 17%, they said, okay, so 77 divided by 17, So 1% is 4.5 million. So multiplied by 100. So the company was valued at that stage at $452 million, right? So these guys, they invested, probably the company was valued like less at that stage, but that helped them to grow at that stage. So probably the company was 200-300 million here. But here, like 1 year later, it was valued already at 452. Now with COVID, with all of these things that happened, like more demand for these services and for products to sell, it just increased even more, right? It increased to pretty much like doubled, right? To almost like $1 billion plus the potential earnout. So that's the direction, guys, that, I mean, if you want to grow, if you want to build like, you know, the wealth that would work for like generations, that's the way to go. It's very hard to build that wealth if you just do random stuff, random products, reinvent your business every few months. Unfortunately, that's very difficult to do. This is, guys, what I want to share with you. This constant evolution, thinking how you can evolve. This video is not for everyone. This video is for like few percent of people who really want to just grow that and do necessary thing that they need to do. But let me know what you think in the comments, guys. This is quite advanced video, not for everyone, but if you like this video, let me know. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you can just like this video and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my videos in the future. Thank you.